Whoa, 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 whoa. Breaking my heart, yeah. What's happening? What's up? Got that thing fired up. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hope all is well. Hope everybody getting they hustle on. And yeah, we live on all networks except Twitter, because Twitter be tripping. They want me to pay $8 a month to stream there. Golly, man. It is what it is. $8. I'm too cheap for that. I might do it. And I get a verification check. So I can go stream live and I get a verification check. They taxing. They some hustlers, man. Elon ain't playing around. Shit, simple as that. But glad y'all in here. Glad to see y'all tuning in. Subject of the day, well, subject of the minute, first 10 minutes of the podcast or show, or whatever you want to call it. We're gonna talk about credit. And then after that, I'll probably talk about somebody saying Elon Musk is not that smart because financial wise, he's the guy, right? I don't even look up to a lot of financial people, but Elon Musk ain't out here playing around. But hey, what do I know? I can talk about some statistics and data that he done to where we can break some of that stuff down. Also, too, um, yeah, we can talk about some stuff. Anyway, so let's talk about credit, right? Like I said, I'm in the process of writing a book. Book should be out here soon. It's going to be called The Four Pillars, right? And the four pillars are going to talk about three things: credit, investing, real estate, and ownership of a process that makes money or cash flow producing assets. And one of the pillars is credit. So a lot of people don't really put emphasis on credit like they should, but they really need to. So a couple things, right? A lot of people don't realize how much credit affects their lives. Credit will hinder you from getting a car. Credit will hinder you from getting credit cards. Credit will hinder you from getting a house. Hell, credit can hinder you from getting an apartment. Bad credit can also get you not hired at a job. Some banks, financial institutions won't loan you money if you have shitty credit. So just want you to know that credit it ain't going anywhere. The process of borrowing money is going to be here forever, and you might as well have the max amount of credit as possible. When it comes to credit, a couple of things really matter. You have two sides of credit. A lot of people focus on their credit score, and the credit score is half the battle, like G.I. Joe. You have credit, and then you have your credit profile. Your credit profile is what your credit is made up of. I know people that have high credit scores and have a weak credit profile. They got added as an authorized user on an account or something like that, and they don't have a strong credit profile, right? They don't have any lines of credit in their name. They don't have any bills in their name. They're just added on an account, and that's not a strong credit profile. And I've seen people with weak credit profiles and strong scores, and vice versa. I've seen people with strong credit profiles and a weak ass score. People with 600 credit score and they have $100,000 worth of personal credit in their name, and all their credit cards are maxed out or something like that. That's rough. So you got to focus on them both. You got to have lines of credit or business lines of credit or personal credit or cars, and pay that stuff over time and have it for a long period of time, and also be working on the stuff to get your credit score high, not paying your bills on time, not going out and trying to acquire lines of credit all damn day, not having a lot of hard inquiries, not having no late payments or charge off or bankruptcies or repos, no baby mama judgments and that shit like that on your damn credit, because all that stuff piled up will issue you out a credit score. So one thing about me or I is that I offer credit repair services. I help people with their credit. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your credit profile, and or then we're going to look at your credit score. We're going to see if anything's on your credit that could be worked. Things like your late payments, your charge-offs, if you have any collections, if you have a repossession, do you have a bankruptcy, do you have any hard inquiries? If so, how many? I'll give you a little tip of the trade right now. Hard inquiries fall off your credit every 2 years. So if you're looking at your credit, right, go to Credit Karma, it's free, and go to the Experian app, it's free. Look at your hard inquiries. Anything that's over 2 years in hard inquiries shouldn't be there. If there is, you can call the credit card, the bureaus, and get that removed. But they generally get them off your credit after 2 years, right? Anything over 5 inquiries is considered a lot. If you have 5 attempts at credit every 2 years total, they consider that you a high risk for credit. They are going to try to pretty much not approve you for any more credit because they're showing you out there trying to pull the trigger on too much stuff. You consider high risk. So anything over 5, you should never try to get more than 5 lines of credit in a year, in a 2-year time. Anything over a year is kind of like it doesn't carry as much weight, but you should never be over 5. And just out of curiosity, the most I've ever seen hard inquiries in a 2-year period is 119. And I think to myself, who the hell applied for credit 119 times in a 2-year period? I mean, if you really think about it. So let's do some simple math. 365 times 2, 730 days a year, divided by 119. That means you're trying to apply for credit every 6 days. So every Friday you go out and try to apply for a line of credit. That's rough. And then you get denied too because you already have a lot of inquiries. But I can tell you something too. I'll give you another little trick of the trade. What happens is, as soon as I saw that, the first thing I said is, how many cars have you bought in the last 2 years? And I'll say, before you answer, it's either got to be 2, 3, or 4. And they'll say, oh, yeah, I got 3 cars this last 2 years. And I say, yeah, I can tell. I said, well, how do you know that? I said, because there's a right way and a wrong way to buy a car. I'll even put you on some more game, right? I'm giving y'all sauce today. Hope you're getting some value from this. Never get financed at the dealership, because the dealership job is to sell your loan to a lender. And the best, the one that gives you the best interest rate is the one they're going to go with, and they're going to get kickback from that. So for example, let's say you want to go out there and buy a 2001 Hellcat. I don't know, y'all love Hellcats for some damn reason. Say you want to buy a 2001 Hellcat, which I know they didn't make Hellcats 2001. That's a joke. But let's say it's a 30 ball, a 30 piece nugget, 30,000 wow. So the car's 30,000. You say, hey, I got a finance department. I'm going to see if I can get you financed. Is that okay with you? Okay, cool. They're going to put your information into a system, and it's going to shoot out to multiple banks: Bank of America, Truist, PNG, PNC, all these different banks, right? Boom, 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 boom. It's going to shop out to 15 different loan companies, and then they're going to pull your credit. Ping pong, ding bong, ching dong, ming ding ding. Go to all these different places, and now you have 15 hard inquiries on your credit in one day. And then they're going to come back and they say, yo, I can finance them at 6 months for 6.5. I can finance them 60 months for 5.2, whatever. Well, and all they're going to do is, cool, I'll take your offer. And if they get you to sign that contract, then that company pays the dealership a fee, couple $100, $200, because you finance through them. And that's why they use those companies. It's almost like a kickback, even though that's kind of illegal at times, but people do it. So That's why you have a lot of inquiries every time you go buy a car from a car dealership. That's why you should get pre-approved from a credit union or your bank, and then you just go in there with a blank check and say, yo, I already got pre-approved. This is the car I want, and here's the check. And you just write it for that one time, and you're done. That's the proper way to buy a car. If you want to buy a car, even though you should be buying hoopties and for cash and dogging them shits out till they fall apart. But hey, what do I know? All right, anyways, so if anybody wanted to sign up for a credit repair, or anybody wanted to do more with their credit, first thing you're going to do is you click the link in the bio, join the free webinar. It says Be Your Own Boss. The powers that be don't like when you talk about credit. It's like one of those taboo industries. So you can't say stuff like gambling, day trading. Like, they hate that type of stuff. Credit repair, even though it's not a primary business structure of mine, I do offer the service. And then one thing about me too is that if we do a credit repair, it's all done for you. It ain't none of these other guys where they'll say, hey, you want to sign up for credit repair? Send me your information. Here's your $500 bill, or here's your $200 a month. And here's all the stuff you send to the bank. You fill this out, you send this to the credit union. And like, I hate that, right? I don't want it like that. I'm an advocate of done for you, right? When I call and order a pizza, I don't want to call and order a pizza, then put on some clothes, go down the street and go to the pizza place, get the dough, put the sauce and the cheese on it, put my toppings on it, put it in the oven, take it out, cut it, put it in the box, and then take it back home. So what the hell did I pay you for? For me to do your job? No, right? I order a pizza, 30 minutes or less, the pizza should be at my doorstep. I mean, about simple as it gets. It's the same thing with anything, right? Same thing I do with credit. You pay for the credit service, it's done for you. And all you do is just check your account every 35 days. And if you need me to pull a report, I try not to pull a report every 35 days, but if you just want one, I can. But that process should take 6 months. I tell people all the time, it was like, yo, can you do it faster? I got stuff to do. I was like, well, it didn't take you 6 months to mess it up. It's not going to take 6 months to fix it, right? You've been messing this train wreck up for the last 7 years, right? You can have some patience. So it depends on what you have. But what we do tackle hard inquiries, repossessions, late payments. Nothing's guaranteed, people, but it is what it is. I try to get it all off, and if I can't get it one time, I'll keep going till I get it off. So we add positive accounts. We add positive accounts, then we remove all negative accounts, and then we check any type of misspellings of your name, and we check for wrong addresses on your credit too. So I met one individual. He had a kind of a messed up name. We spent one whole month just fixing his name on all his credit things. We fixed his name, I think it was like 24, 25 times in 1 month. His credit score went up 80 points just by fixing his name, because he had a weird spelling of his name, which as soon as I saw it, I said, yo, is this right? He said, oh yeah, that's right. I said, you know, this is wrong. He said, yeah, that's just the way they spell it. It is what it is. So, I mean, I guess that's credit repair in a nutshell. I don't want to harp on that too much. But if you're interested in credit repair, or you have any credit questions, you can ask them along with any other questions, because, like I said, my objective is to get everybody in the world mastering the 4 pillars of financing: credit, investment, ownership, and real estate. So, and for those who think, okay, let's talk about this when it comes to credit, because I really didn't harp on this that much. To me, there's really no such thing as good credit or bad credit. Credit is there to, it's only as good as you want to go for. You know, that if that makes sense. So for example, Mr. Richard, what's considered a good score? Okay. Uh, let's say if you need a 680 to get an SBA loan and you have a 660, is your credit good or bad? It's bad. Okay. Well, say if you need to buy a house, you still the same 680, you want to buy a house. A FHA loan is a 580. Is your credit good or bad? It's good. So is there such thing as good or bad? It's only contingent or subjective on the application you want to get. It's like saying, is this person ugly or not? I don't know. Who are you trying to talk to? If you try to talk to someone like, I don't know, Jennifer Lopez, then she might say you're ugly. But if you try to talk to someone like Lizzo, she might think you're attractive, right? It depends on who you ask. It's the same thing with credit. To me, there's really no such thing. There are better credits than others, but your objective should be always to focus on certain criteria that you want to get. If you want to buy a house, get your credit scores to house level. You want to get lines of credit or business credit, focus on that. You want to get investment properties, focus on that. You want to get a VA loan, focus on that. You want to get business SBA money, focus on that. And now you have a target. Once you hit that target or exceeded that target, now you go out and use that credit for what it was intended for, to buy stuff without paying for it all up front. I mean, it's kind of a weird concept to even think about it like that, but a lot of people think that they just have to have this like magical score. Man, I got to get an 800. I don't give what you got. What's an 800 doing for me if I don't make money off of it? Yo, Mr. Rich, I got an 845. Don't care. How much lines of credit do you have in your business name? Well, none. So what's the fucking point? Don't care. I'd rather have $1 million worth of business line of credit and a 700 than 0% of business credit, zero amount of business credit, and have an 840. Don't care. You're not impressing me, right? Go out there and slide that card and buy 3 Sprinter vans and put them bitches on Turo and outfit them for hikers. That's impressive with no money out of pocket. Not, look at my Credit Karma. Watch this. I got 845. Don't care. Don't care. How are you using that credit to make you money? That's impressive. The number's not. So enough of that credit stuff. So let's get to the questions of the day. So somebody's commenting a whole bunch of Elon Musk stuff. Don't talk about my savior. I'm not a starstruck person, but I have 4 people to meet in my life, and I've only met one. 4 people in my lifetime that I want to meet. Everybody else is just normal people to me. I will never be starstruck unless I meet these 4 people. Elon Musk is one. Which I met him, but I didn't really talk to him like that. But he was on some weird stuff. When I was in the military, I had to service his private jet. I did a mission for NASA. I helped launch the first SpaceX mission, and then as the shuttle was launching, we had to service Air Force One and Elon Musk plane. They was parking on the same tarmac. So I was out there. I met him for like 2 seconds. A quick nod, and he just kept walking. He's taller than I thought, and he walks weird. but that's another story. What are my opinions on college? Is college investment, is it a good investment? Uh, what is okay? Let's say the average college tuition is over 4 years, a hondo, 100,000. Wow. If you go to college for something specific and that's what you want to do, I can see it. But to go $100,000 in debt to do something that's probably going to pay you $60,000. I mean, you really think about it. The average person who doesn't have a college degree makes $48,000 a year. Now, what is it? I think it's 44,000. I'm gonna have to fact check myself. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Average income for a non college graduate. 42,000. No. Yeah, 42. An associate's is 44. Ooh, college, a bachelor's is actually 59. I thought it was 56. It went up. So let's think about it. A person without a college degree, average income is 42. An average person with a college degree is 59. So simple math, 59 minus 42, 17,000. Wow. All right, let's say the college degree costs 100,000. Wow. Minus or divided by 17,000. That's 6 years you have to work. That's 6 more years you have to work to get your money back. However, a lot of people say, well, you can make your money back in 6 years. Yeah. Was you working while you was in college? Probably not. So that's 4 extra years that person made over you. Does that make sense? So now you're going to have $100,000 in the hole. Okay, sorry, I take that back. 42,000 times 4 years, 168,000. And now you divide the 168,000 by the extra $17,000 a month, or $17,000 a year. That makes sense. So now it's 10.1. So it will take you 10.1 years to catch up to that person. Actually, more than that, it'll be like 14 because one person starts at 18, the other person starts at 22, 23, and then they start working. But that one person at 18 is already made. And that's if you put the $17,000 extra a year towards the college tuition, which you're not, but just for sake of argument. So you're somewhere in the range of 14-year head start. So 14 years, 14 plus 18, I don't know, 32, 33. You'll eventually catch up to that person at 33 years old. Eh. But that's average. I could take the $100,000 and start a business or buy a business. And the person making $60,000 a year will never make the person what the entrepreneur makes. So I want you to think about it like that. Entrepreneurs are the highest, or entrepreneurs and financial services. That's the industry. Financial servicing is the highest paid industry in the world. Pretty much entrepreneurs. Right? But it's not easy and it don't come quick. You got to work for it. I want a 61 Plymouth Barracuda. Ah, Barracuda. I want the LLC. All right, well, Sammy, I don't know what that means. Go get an LLC. Someone said I look like Rick Ross. What's crazy is, man, like I don't even see it. I'm way better looking than that dude. And I'm not trying to like diss on him or anything. There is no way in hell I resemble Rick Ross. It's just the beard, and we're both dark skinned. And he talks slow. It's the biggest thing I ever seen. Bigger than everybody, you know. There's something wrong with you, man? Bunny, what's happening? Jay Gillen, you in here? Hey, man, I heard you gave away a Cybertruck to somebody who watched your video. Hey, man, I want a Cybertruck. Give me a Cybertruck, man. Damn. One of my celebrity buddies. He strolls in here and don't say shit and then bounce out. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. At least let me get on the YouTube. I need some street cred. You know, honestly, I don't even need that. I don't need the money. I don't need the fame. I don't need nothing from you. I just want to know how to properly say your name. That's it. I don't want to see Logan Paul. I don't want no Prime deal. I don't want to meet Mr. Beast, even though I saw that special. Don't care. All I want is for you to teach me how to say your name, because I've heard 4 different ways to say it. But you're strolling through, you probably don't even listen to what I'm saying. It's all good. If I have an open cash loan and want to go through the SBA, you should give back the loan. An open cash loan, like an advance pay loan or something. I don't even know what that is. But okay, the SBA is going to check for a credit score. If you have debts owed and stuff like that, it's almost like when you're trying to buy a house and then you owe like all these other people all this money, man. They're going to be like, yo, what the hell is this, man? You got to get this off of here and stuff like that. You gotta fix that type of stuff. Who's the one you met? Oh yeah, it was Elon Musk. So 4 people I want to meet. I met Elon Musk, but I want to meet him. Not like what up? Kept walking. I want to meet Obama. LeBron James, a huge LeBron James fan. I wanted to meet Kobe Bryant, but he passed away though. And I don't know. The last one kind of varies from people to people at times, but probably just Barack Obama and maybe Jay-Z. Maybe, but I'm not really worried about that. I really don't care about Beyonce that much either. But I just think it'd be kind of cool to meet Obama. But I've met every president. I met Trump. I met Biden. I met Trump like 7 times. He was kind of standoffish, right? And I'm unbiased too. I don't care either way. Love him or hate him, I don't care. I'm real big on like being personable to people, especially people who are like in service to you. You know what I mean? Like if I've been standing out here for 3 hours waiting for you to come to service your aircraft, and you don't even like, hey, thanks, or any of that shit, nothing. It was just the most acknowledgement I've ever gotten from him was this. Kept on walking. What the fuck? I was saying I had 3 hours in this hot ass sun waiting for that. AC Slater, what's happening? I wasn't ready to drop out of college. Okay, I'm not saying college is not bad. I think I learned a lot from college. I learned a lot I learned a lot from college. But in all honesty, I think I learned more from the military than I did from college. Honestly, the military, if you go in it with open mind and try to take as much out from it as possible, you'll get the game. You'll get game. That's my personal opinion. I almost wish everybody can do 2 years in the military. Hey, is my mic working? I'm gonna show it down. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What did you do? Learn in the military? Shit, everything. I learned a lot. You know, the best thing I can honestly say, the best thing I learned in the military is I got forced to be a military training instructor, a TI or MTI or whatever the hell you want to call it. And you have to go to what's called uh, not buds, BIC, basic instructor basic instructor course. And what they do is they teach you how to talk, which you talk your whole life, but you don't, the way y'all talk, you don't realize how bad you sound until you are taught how to talk from a professional. You see how I can just carry on the conversation and I have good structure, I have good pitch, I have good delivery. That stuff, it's a learned skill. And I didn't know anything about it. So I'll give you a great thing. Teach you how to yell at students. Yes and no, but there's ways to do things. And when you yell, you don't really try to like hurt your vocal cords, right? There's ways to do stuff. I'll give you a great example of something that I learned in military. Right, I'm gonna put y'all on some public speaking game. One is called verbal distractors. Everybody has them. Some people have them more than others. A verbal distractor is any random word in a sentence that didn't need to be there, but you constantly repeat it. So things like, um, well, and then you can either start it or end it with verbal distractors. Things like, you know what I mean? You feel me? You pick up what I'm laying down. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to say that stuff. If you conveyed your message properly, you don't have to reiterate the fact that they understood what you're saying. You know what I mean? Verbal distractor. Um, don't say just shut your mouth and think about what you're going to say next. You know what I mean? You see what you're learning. You're learning. Okay? Verbal distractor. I catch myself doing it now all the time. But if you watch a lot of people public speak, they'll give you some, man, they'll talk about so much stuff and they will talk about, we have to watch public speakers in the class and we'll watch their verbal distractors and we'll go through and wait for their pauses. You got about 5 seconds to start talking. And then you continue your message without saying words like a It's a learned skill. You just got to do it. See what I'm saying? You feel me? You pick up what I'm laying down? But there was a lot of things that was taught there, right? I'll give you another one, right? There's another one. Shit. Now you're gonna be trying to listen to me, trying to hear me mess up. Don't focus on that. Focus on the message. Are you cool with Tyler Perry Madea fan? Sure, I guess. I don't know. Also, too, we talked about pitch. We talked about delivery. We talked about hand placements. If you get verbal distractors, they make you do push-ups. And then what we do is we record you. We record you, then we watch it back in front of everybody. 3-minute speech. So the first speech they give you an impromptu speech about yourself. 3 minutes. And you first hear it, when you first hear yourself say who you are as a person, you watch that video, and then they make everybody do it. And then they get to teaching. After about a week, you watch that same video again. You're like, what the? This wasn't even me. Oh, yeah, it was, buddy. You was bad. Know what I mean? Verbal distractors. You will hear yourself. Once you turn once you turn it on, that you hear yourself saying it, you will never say it again. Well, I say it all the time, but I don't care. It ain't like y'all checking for me, but I'm the best of the best of the best, sir. And just like also too, pacing the room, pacing back and forth, look at people in the eyes when you talk to them. And something else we do is we talk the triangle of speech. So you look at someone in the front, you look down at the left corner, then you walk left and look at them in the right corner. And then you work your way in the middle. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And after I got out of that class, I hated watching people public speak for about 6 months, because all you did was watch people look like idiots on TV. And my favorite is watching politics or politicians speak without a prompt. Oh, it's so bad. But there's a lot of stuff we talked about. I'm not going to go super detailed into it, but that was one of my favorite military lessons. And how to sleep anywhere. How to pretty much go to sleep anywhere in the world at any given time. I can literally fall asleep in 30 seconds. Anywhere. Anywhere. How? Just do it. Just learn. I need to learn that. You know, a lot of people say that, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a world without that. At least now. So ask the questions. What's going on? I don't want to talk about me and my military service. Someone asked, how does the SBA prove that you have income? Great question. So there's 2 things that the SBA is going to look at. Excuse me. Either you're going to buy an existing business, or you're going to get funding for the business you have. If you have an existing business, they're going to pull your tax returns, and they're going to look at your credit score, and they're going to look at how long your business been open. And that's how they're going to prove the income of that business. They're going to look at your financial statements too, P&Ls, year to date, profit and loss statements, all that other kind of crap. But if you're buying a business and the business is bringing in $200,000 a year, they don't care what you make. You can make nothing. They don't care. because they know if that business is going to make you $200,000 as soon as you buy it, you're making $200,000 a year now. Now your job is to manage that business to the best of your abilities. So they don't verify your income, they verify the business's income. So when they verify the business's income, then they'll go through the business's financial records, business tax returns, business P&L statements or whatever, and then they'll base that loan off of what that business brings in. But the way I teach my students or anybody in my mentorship or on a one-on-one or a consultation or anything, whatever you want to do, I teach them to make to where the SBA gets money, the money that you bought, the money that you borrowed receives a payback, and then you get a check as well. It's like the trifecta of debt servicing. Once you understand that concept, kind of downhill from there. Someone said business credit or personal credit. I don't even know what that means, but I'll answer that question to the best of my ability. Business credit is okay. I'm trying to give you a good analogy. Your personal credit is it's like a show car. You pull it out the garage, you wash it on the weekends, you take it to Cars and Coffee, you put a sign up front of it and say, "This is my nice car." People come take photos of it, and when you're done with it, you take it and you put it right back in the garage with a tarp on it. That's personal credit. I mean, that's business credit. I'm sorry, that's personal credit. Your business credit now, that's that 94 Honda Civic with the airbag missing. You got to crank it up with a screwdriver. It makes like a loud knocking noise, anything under 30 miles an hour. And you do donuts in the parking lot at Publix when you go to get groceries. That's your business credit. You dog that shit out. You maximize the line of credits you got. You get as much funding and credit you can get on it, and you wear them damn lines of credit out. Your personal credit, you keep that nice. Your business credit, you dog it out, because business credit does not show up on your personal credit. Nobody knows you have business credit except you and the bank. That's the beauty of business credit. You can go out and get hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars worth of business credit, and the other banks don't even know it. They might know it. I don't know. I don't care. If I go to a Bank of America and get a 40 ball, I go to Wells Fargo and get a 30 ball, I go to Chase and get a 25 ball, I'm sitting on a Hondo, a 100,000. Now I can go use that in whatever business structure I want. I want to go buy cars and put them on Turo. I want to go buy ATM routes. I want to go buy a bread route. I want to go buy a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't give a shit what you want to buy. You dog that credit out. And then as long as that venue you're going into can pay for the credit that you are getting. If it's not, then it's not worth it. But if it does, then it's worth it. If I got 0% interest, let's say if I have this line of credit, 30 piece nuggets, 30 piece nuggets. And I always like to show people this. And sometimes I just go get these just to show y'all I'm not out here playing around. And here you go. Here's the date. Here's the date. This is a brand new card. 30-piece nuggets, 30 thigh wow. Now, let's say if I went out and I wanted to buy a vending machine route. The vending machine route is $30,000 cash, and that's 0% interest for a year. And the guy told me it's been making $30,000 a year cash flow to my pocket for the last 5 years. Now, is that a good deal or a bad deal? Well, I got 0% interest for a year. So if I use the 30 ball on the line of credit, that's not going to show up on my personal credit. Within a year, I'll be breaking even. And then next year, it's paid for, and I can just make $30,000 a year. So is that a good deal or a bad deal? If that's what you want. Somebody said, we need a serious and trustworthy receiver who can receive a large amount of money in the wallet and monetize it. Send me a message directly. Huh? I don't even know what that means. But yeah, the answer to your question is business credit is really nice. Personal credit, you just take care of it. Business credit is like your girlfriend that you don't care about, and your personal credit is like your wife. You take her out, nice dates, you put on a nice dress, show her off to your friends. That old little ratchet girlfriend you had, you don't care about her. Business plan, yes, if you want a business plan, I can help you write it if that's what you want, but you don't need a business plan. Business plans are for only certain types of loans. So if you wanted to get a CDFI loan, or you want to get a micro loan and get funding to start a business, then yes, you need a business plan. But like I said, why start something when you can just buy it from scratch? I mean, why start something when you could just buy an existing business? Why get a $50,000 loan to start a business when I can get $50,000 line of credit and buy a business for $500,000 that's making $200,000 a year? Day one. So I'll even do the math on that. Let's say if it's making two hondos a year. That's $557 a day. You buy it on Friday. On Monday, there should be $1,500 in your bank account. I mean, this ain't rocket science, people. It's not rocket science. That $1,500, you might got some debt servicing. You got to pay back the SBA loan, but the SBA loan ain't $200,000 a year. Not even close. If I borrow $50,000 from the bank, or had $50,000 saved up, and I put it down on a business, when I make $200,000, after I pay back the government, that's going to be 50 gone. That leaves me 150. Then I'm going to pay back myself for my down payment. That's another 50, 60, whatever it is. So now I made $90,000 first year. I paid myself back for the line of credit I borrowed. I paid back the government or the SBA or the bank, and I paid myself. I make 90. I paid myself back, the line of credit back 50, 60. I pay back the bank or the SBA government 50. 90, 50, 50, or sorry, 50, 50, 60, 90, or some shit like that. Whatever the damn numbers are. I make 90, pay back the line of credit, 50, 60, and I pay back the other 50. Win, win, win. Everybody's getting checks. And that's where it gets good. Year two, you don't have to pay back the line of credit. You already paid it back. So now instead of you making 200, you take away the line of credit or the SBA payment, which is 50,000. Now you make $150. $1.50 divided by 12 is what? 13,000 a month. Who can't live off $13,000 a month? I'll wait. I will wait. In your personal opinion, is it better to buy a business or start a business? Shit. I just answered that. But I'll answer it again. But I'll answer it differently. Let's say if I gave you this 30-piece nugget right here. I gave you this $30,000 worth of line of credit. Or I put $30,000 in your account. And I said, yo, go start a business. I'll make it 50 because 50 is a little easier. I gave you $50,000. You saved up $50,000. You got $50,000 worth of line of credit. Don't care. Okay, cool. Go start a business. What kind of business? A daycare. A little easier concept to grasp. A daycare. Okay, I want to start a daycare. You got $50,000. Cool. You need to go lease a building. Say the lease on the building is $2,000 a month. That's $24,000. He or she might say, yo, I need security deposit and I need first month's rent. So $4,000 gone. Right? So out of the 50, $4,000 is gone. That's $46,000 left. Cool. You need to go buy equipment. You need to go buy some pads. You need to go buy little play areas. You need to go buy chairs. All that kind of crap, right? Some equipment. You might be all into that, probably $5,000. So now you got 41. Okay. So now then you need probably a point of sale system. You're not going to be sliding no damn Cash App on no damn business. You need a point of sale system. You need to get some cash registers, some reoccurring payments. You need a vendor to run that process, right? That might be a couple grand for the year. Okay. So now you got the vendor, the point of sale system, you got supplies, and you got the business, right? You're going to do an opening, I don't know, a month from now. So now a month passes, you owe another month's worth of rent. So now 39 goes to 2,000 down. So now you're at 36,000, right? You got employees. You're going to be taking care of these damn kids yourself, right? So let's say you hire three people, and let's say they get paid $1,000 a week, which is $4,000 a month, which is $48,000, which that's a decent amount. $1,000 a person, you hire 3 people. That's $3,000 times a month. $3,000 a week times 4. That's 12,000. So now you're 37, go to 25. You still got 25 hondos left, or 25,000. Are kids showing up there? You put a sign out, no one came. Oh, you got to market. I got to run Facebook ads. I got to run Instagram ads. I got to run ads on TV. Shit, that's what? A month? I put you at $2,000, $3,000. I'll put you at $3,000 a month. You got $22,000 left. You got employees. You got point of sale system. You got marketing. You got a lot of overhead. And ain't a child came in that shit. So you pretty much negative 28,000. You're negative $28,000. And you're on month 2 and you damn near ain't got no kids in there. And what's crazy is You borrowed a line of credit from the bank. You made a payment on that, right? You made a payment. Let's say it's $500 a month. You 2 months in. That's another thou wow. You got electricity in this place. Another $500 a month. Three months in, that's another $100. That's another thou wow. You at 19,500. Now let's say out of the advertising, you 3 months in. Let's say if you get 3 kids coming in, 3 kids, you're charging them $150 a month. That's $450. 450 times 4. That's $1,800. So I'm gonna add $1,800. Add $1,800 for the first 3 kids. Wow. Now that credit card payment coming up again, negative $500. Your rent came up, that's a negative $2,000. Water, cable, electricity came up, that's another $500. Your payroll came up, that's another $4,000. You got $12,000 left on this line of credit. At this pace, in 3 months, you will be broke. You 4 months into starting a daycare with $30,000, $50,000 worth of line of credit. You have a break even, right? And it's probably somewhere in the range of to cover your kids, to cover, I ain't even talking about snacks and all other kind of shit. I ain't even got to that stuff, right? We ain't even talking about food, right? But let's say your break even is 15 kids. It's going to take you at least 6 months to get to that point. But you're going to be broke. You damn near got $12,000 left on month 3 because you're starting a business from scratch. And I want to put this in my name. I want to take pride in this. No, that shit don't work, man. But now let's take a daycare that you buy. Same concept, you just buy it existing. The daycare costs $500,000. It produces $200,000 a year in income to you. You put $50,000 down from this line of credit, it makes $200,000 a year. $200,000 minus the SBA loan is going to be about $45,000 a year. Now you at $155,000 a year. You're going to pay back the line of credit, right? That's another $55,000, probably with some interest or some shit. That's $100 piece. Now year 1, you make $100,000. Or you divide $100,000 by 365. That's $273 a day. You buy it on a Friday, $273, Saturday, $273, Sunday, $273, Monday, $273. You up a G over the weekend you bought it. Do you got to go out and hire employees? They're already there. You got to find a point of sale system? No, they're already there. You got to go find a place and go get a lease? No, it's already there. You got to find management? No, it's already there. You got to do any advertisement? Nope, already there. You got a CPA? Already there. Accountant? Already there. Why reinvent the wheel, people, when the wheel is already there? So people always ask me, what's my opinion? Should I start a business or should I buy a business? If you like losing money, then start one. You know the statistics on businesses that close in the first 5 years? 91%. 91% of all business fail in the first 5 years. And that's over all businesses. Oh man, I can get into this type of business. Tech ain't, that don't work in tech and all this other kind of stuff. No, that's all businesses. That's all businesses. Nobody's exempt. But what is the success rate of a business that's been open for 10 years already? So you telling me a business that's been open for 10 years, management, systems, teams, employees, accountants, cash flow, income, taxes, and it's been there for 10 years, you're not even working there. You telling me you're going to take over this process and fuck it up and you're not even there? It ain't happening. Generally, it's not happening unless you go in and talk about, I'm in charge. This is the way we're going to do shit. No. Hey, everybody. I am one of the founding members of this company who bought this company. I'm just here to, if you have any questions, let me know. But everything will be directed to Jim or John or William or Smith or Jane or Daniel. He'll direct the questions directly to me. And or if you really have to talk to me about something that you can't take to him, I always have an open door policy, but always use your chain of command first. Assistant manager, shift lead, GM, and then me. See y'all at the Christmas party. Boom, boom. Someone said, can felons buy or use SBA loans? Felons can't use any government programs. It's kind of crazy how that works. Felons can't use any federal programs. However, he said, can you buy an existing business? Yeah. You can still buy businesses. You can't use the government to buy businesses. You can't use the government to buy a business, but you can use the banks to buy a business. The only difference between the SBA and the banks is the amount down. The businesses, the structure and all that kind of stuff is still all the same. Excuse me. So for example, if you wanted to buy a business through the SBA, I think it's 10% down or even 5% down. But if you want to buy one through the bank, I think it's like 15% down or even 20% down. You're just going to have to come up with more money, but you still can buy a business. Or better yet, cut all them out and just go straight to the source. Get the owner to finance you. 41% of all deals are financed. All 41% of all business deals, business acquisitions are financed through owner financing. You don't even need the bank. You just need to know how to negotiate and find the deals. Once you understand that, you can find the money. I mean, and the bad part about it is sometimes I'll have a deal on lock. This was back in the day though, but I have a deal on lock and I have the SBA, pretty much on my side. I have all the down payment and stuff like that. And I'll just say, you know what? Just out of curiosity, can I get, I won't say that, but I'll say like, can I, I'll say the same generic statement. You can even have this one. Man, the economy is extremely risky right now, and it's expensive to borrow money now. Interest rates are ridiculous, and I'm really interested in this business or this house or this property or this process. Is there any way we can negotiate owner financing to get this deal done? Something along that line. I have a copy and paste statement. Hold on. Actually, I'll find it for you. I will find it for you. It's the universal statement that I say to all my leads. I'm gonna see if I can find it. my luck, I won't be able to find it. But it goes along the lines of, I'm really interested in this deal. Um, Money is really expensive right now, and at the current interest rates, I don't know if this will financially make sense. However, if you're open to like owner financing on terms that me and you can agree to, um, then hopefully we can make something happen or something to that extent. I've negotiated more owner financing deals with this same stupid ass line than you could probably freaking imagine. I, you'd be surprised, man. And better yet, I'm like, damn, all you got to do is ask. The worst they can say is no. What are they gonna do? Be mad at you for asking you to finance their deal? No. Come on, where's it at? Hell, here's one right here. Here's an older deal that I was looking at. I ain't gonna show you, but I asked the guy, "Can I get owner financing on this one property?" It was a cheap house, and he said, "I need to sell it quick. If you give me $1,000 down, I will owner finance you." $1,000. $1,000. You know what? Screw it. I'll show you. I'm not gonna show too much. Owner financing available with $1,000 down. With owner financing with only $1,000 down. Stuff works, people. You got to make it work though. The bad part about it is, man, I should be charging y'all to be telling y'all this stuff, but at the end of the day, I am about like value and trying to get people to get out their comfort zone and let people know that this stuff does work. If you want to learn more about this stuff, click the link in the bio and join the free class. I got a free class coming up here soon. Sooner you click on it, the faster you can get to learning. The faster you can learn this stuff. I don't know what subject we're going to talk about this Friday when we meet, but generally it's a good one. And we focus on the 4 pillars, and I hold you accountable too. And I give you homework. Man, where is this at? I'm trying to show you the one that I bought. It's this is old though. I probably won't find it. I didn't even see this email. Oh man. Damn. I just lost a Hondo. Damn it. Damn. Sorry. That's what happens when you don't use your email. Now I'm in a bad mood. Come on, where's this deal at, man? A 30-30 ball. A 30-30-30. A 30-30 ball. You know what? I don't even care. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. You got about 10 more seconds, Mr. Rich. Then I'm out. 8. I don't know. I can't find it. I was just trying to find anything that I forgot the statement that I used. I used to have it copied and paste in an area, but I don't even know where to look for it. But anytime I'm looking for it, I just find it, but I can't find it now. Maybe because I'm focused on talking instead of that. Anyways, enough of that crap. Can you turn a property primary into investment property? Can you turn your primary residence to an investment property? Yeah, rent it out. Simple as it gets. Thank you everybody for checking in. I see y'all on YouTube. I see y'all on Twitch. Who the hell be watching from Twitch? Be some random person. So would you analyze the opportunity for someone who wants to get in the game? Better be buying a B-Day present. Better be buying a B-Day present for who? For you? It's your birthday? It's your birthday. No, your birthday on the Super Bowl. No. You was born on Super Bowl year. That's what it is. Would you analyze? Yeah. This is what I do. If you wanted to learn more, click the link in the bio, join the free class. And what happens is we meet, and if you want to move forward, I teach you how to find deals, negotiate deals, buy deals, fund deals, all of it. But it's not easy. I'm not going to say it is easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Because it is work. You got to put in the work, man. You got to put in the work. Nothing comes to anybody who sits on their hands. Damn, I can't believe I lost that deal. Man, I almost want to message them and say, it's still available. That shit's gone. Gone. Crap. Come on, killer. What the fuck? I'm gonna look at how much money I lost. All right. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. All right, killer, come on. Okay. Not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as I thought. I'm sorry. I was working. I'm working. I'm not gonna stay on too much longer. I got God dang. People. Ah! It ain't my day today. I can't get a break. Have you ever bought a firm that does cybersecurity? IT's not my thing. People, you know what's crazy about IT? People who own IT businesses think their businesses walk on water. And I hate that. I hate the idea of people that think their businesses, it's like people, I'm not trying to talk ill or bad about people, but you ever met somebody who had a kid and the kid wasn't that cute, but the people whose kid it is, they think their kid looks better than they think they are, or they have a badass kid and think the kid's nice, but the kid's bad as hell. It's the same thing. I generally IT businesses are like that from my personal experience. Not all of them, but it's like a person that thinks they're, or I wouldn't say a kid. It's like a person who thinks they're good looking. They might dress well. They might be clean cut. They might smell good. Or they might have nice long hair. Or even like a female. You guys use female too. Nice long hair, in shape, good height, and they're just not good looking. But they think they're good looking because people tell them all the time, hey, you're attractive, you're attractive, you're attractive. And you're just like, nah, you're not that attractive. You meet a guy, it's the same thing. Guy that's real arrogant, think he's kind of cocky. That's my experience with IT businesses. People who own IT businesses think them shits are up here, and they're not. They're like here. And people like, yo, IT is the future. I got this AI test system I'm integrating. No, 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 homie. We call a spade a spade. If the guy's a 6, he's a 6. I don't give a damn how many degrees he got. I don't give a damn how smart he is. Money might play a factor, but if you're a, you don't supposed to be. If you're a 5 and you're rich, you're not a 10. You're still ugly. You're just a rich 5, right? Mark Zuckerberg is an ugly dude. Just because he's a billionaire doesn't make him better looking, right? Some people might think he's better looking, but he physically is not a better looking person when he's rich. It is what it is. Same thing with IT. That's just my personal opinion, right? But what the hell do I know? And doing Louis. We Louis. Okay, I'm gonna give you a big overview, a synopsis of what's going on. There's an individual. I'm not gonna say his name, even though I already said it 3 times. Who is coming in? I think he's coming into a large sum of money, and he is trying to his damnness not to pay capital gains tax on that money. And he comes in here and he like rewords the same question over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. I get it, man. I get it. You don't want to get hit with a 30-piece nugget on them taxes. That capital gains tax, let's say this individual, let's say this individual inherited some money, inherited a property. Let's say he inherited an apartment complex from his great grandfather. The great grandfather and left it to him, and he wants to sell it for $5 million. You're gonna have to pay capital gains tax on that $5 million at 28-30% capital gains tax. That's a 1.5 million. And he wants to know the best ways to not pay capital gains tax on it. And every time you come in here, I'll give you 8 different ways not to do it. But hey, you click the link in the bio, become a client. We can do whatever you want to do. We can set up a one-on-one and we can figure it out. But I think I've guided you enough in this journey, my brother. I put you on enough game to last you a lifetime. But that's if you sold it. But if you're in the process of selling it, then that's fine. You can refinance it and you don't have to pay capital gains tax. You don't pay taxes on debt. But I think I probably said that before. I like that. I like that. Michael Beasley. I like that. Where the money at? Is it better to buy a business? Yeah, I just answered that question. I don't want to run a business. So what do you want to do? You want to work? Pick your poison, man. So they're actually games that learn how to master starting a business then selling them. Yeah. I meet people like that all the time because let's say if I'm looking for myself, I'm looking for someone else or someone showing me a deal or I'm talking about a deal, I'll look at a business and I can look at a business for comically 30 seconds and know that a person is just starting businesses, scaling them to where they're profitable, have all the systems and stuff in play, and then selling them. But you can tell with 2 minutes of looking at it, you say, okay, I can already see what they're doing. Because the numbers are inflated. Somebody might buy it, but you can tell when the numbers are really, really inflated. And it's a lot of other factors in it, but you kind of can tell. So what do I? So say if I have good credit, do I leverage that to get to business credit? Yes. You leverage your personal credit to get business credit, and then you use the business credit to buy a business or to buy real estate. And once you get that, then if you do it right, that piece of real estate or that business or that entity or that whatever you got should pay for everything. If it's not paying for everything, then you did it wrong. But I have like 4 tools that anybody in the coaching program, they all get the tools. You plug in 3 numbers into this calculator, it gives you every number you need. And you say yes or no, just based off those 3 numbers. It already does it for you. And then a third number will pop up. You take that third number to the SBA, and you say, "Hey, SBA, this number is blank, blank, blank." They'll say, "Nope, we won't even approve that." So you're not wasting their time. You're not wasting my time. You're not wasting your time. But those things are things you need to learn. I bought a Lamborghini with an SBA. Thanks for the guidance. No problem. Buy 2 of them. Boss, 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 boss. Ain't owner financing risky because it depends on them to make the payment? Huh? No. It depends on you to make the payment. But generally, people don't have a lot of debt. If you do owner financing deal, more than likely they don't have any debt on the business or on the place. You can do it on a financing deal with debt in place, but you got to take consideration that they got to pay the debt down too. Or you got to get another loan to pay off their debt after a certain amount of time. But there's a few ways you can do it. To me, it's easier to negotiate a piece of property than a business deal with owner financing when debt's in place. But they both had their ups and downs. Boss, what's happening? I'm glad you're here. Underneath your clothes, there's an endless story. My time bird, what's happening? What's with your opinion on that? I don't know what you said, man. Now I gotta stroll up, see what you're talking about. Underneath your clothes, there's an endless story. Get an LLC in another country? I don't know what that means. Why would you do that? You in America. I don't know how that works. I know the SBA, you have to be a United States citizen and or not a felon. If you're not a felon and or have a United States citizen, you can get an SBA. You need good credit and be a United States citizen to buy a business in America. Well, I don't even think you even need to. If you want to use the United States bank, but you can use if international bank if you want to. If you're coming from overseas to buy something in America, you can use the international bank to fund that if you want to. I don't see why you can't. I don't see why people would though, right? I'm sure there are plenty of good existing businesses in their country. But what do I know? You wish you knew me 3 years ago? Best time to invest yesterday. Second best time today. About simple as it gets. Underneath your clothes, there's an endless story. When this is gone, I'm right here. I'm getting off. I gotta get ready tonight for or not tonight. I gotta get ready for another call and some other stuff. But yeah. You know what's crazy is? I was talking to a content creator. He called me today and he said, well, he called me earlier. I won't say today. But we talked on the phone probably like a half an hour. And he said, I'm strolling on social media and I'll see your content. And I will listen to you speak for about, 20, 30 minutes. And I'll be like working on the garage or something, and I'll just put it on and listen to you talk. And he said, you give people way more value than they deserve. He said, you could be charging some of the stuff that you asking these people. You could be charging thousands of dollars for this. And I said, I know. He said, well, why do you do it? I said, because I give you a good analogy. It's like a football game. A person might be wanting to get an extra 2 yards, an extra 1 yard, an extra 3 yards. 2 or 3 extra yards ain't worth it to me. I want a touchdown. My goal is touchdowns. I don't give a damn if I have 200 yards or 160 yards. I want touchdowns. My objective, and I've said this every day or every time you talk to me or every time you hear me talk for the last damn near year and a half, especially the last year. I've been real heavy at least this year, heavy on this. My objective is to be the biggest content creator, white, black, on all social media platforms when it comes to this money thing. Right? The people out here now are trash. Dave Ramsey is trash. Robert Kiyosaki is trash. Well, he's good, just he's out of touch. Tony Robbins, out of touch. All these guys out here now are out of touch. So we need better. We need better representation in the minority community. We need better representation amongst a younger demographic. Because I'm not even that old. I feel like I'm not. And I want people that represents what I believe in and understand the modern struggles of society. Some guys say shit like save up 20% down payment and get a 15-year loan. Yeah, if I make $190,000 a year, you can do that. But the average person can't do that. So how does the average person buy a home? How does the average person work on their credit? How does the average person buy investment properties? How does the average person invest in the stock market? How does the average person maximize their 401k? Does the average person even know what the hell maximizing their 401k is? If I went through the average person and said, what is maximizing your 401k? Right? Let's test this out. I don't know how many people on here. Between all social media platforms, we probably got 70 people. What is maximizing your 401k? I want to see how many different answers I get. I'm not going to judge and I'm not going to be mad. I don't care. That's why we learn. That's why we learn. Increase your contributions. Somebody said, I don't know. Maximize contribution matching with the question mark. Get a couple more answers. I'll wait. If they don't answer, it's fine. Get one or two more. What does maximizing your 401k mean? Hell, I've met people that don't even know what a 401k is. One student of mine, I talk about him all the time, but I'm not going to say his name. He was supposed to enroll, he'd been at his job for 10 years. Never contributed to his 401k. And they did a 7% max. Put in the most you can to the max, someone said. Make you wait forever to get your money back. Make you wait forever to get your money back. Maximizing your 401k meaning, someone kind of hinted on it, means that whatever they contribute to your campaign or whatever they contribute to your 401k, you maximize the amount or potential you get back out of it. So if they do a 6% max, a 6% match, then you maximize that opportunity. You put 6% in there. So everybody on here, here's another piece of guidance that all y'all should do. Go to your human resource department at your job and you say, hey, I need to know everything I need to know about my 401k. And they'll say, okay, here you go. Here's a piece of paper. Yeah, fuck all this. How much y'all match? If you put in 6%, we'll give you 6% back. Cool, let's do that. You want to be aggressive or you want to be conservative or you want to be medium? I'm young, fuck it. Let it ride. Because if you think about it, if they match 6% of your paycheck, let's say if you make $100,000 a year, 100,000, 6% is $6,000. If you give them 6, they're going to match your 6. So now you at 12. 1 year, you got 12. $12,000. You put $1 in a bucket, and then you pull out $2. Now I don't know how many buckets you hang around, but it ain't too many that you can do that to. Everybody should be maximizing that shit. Even stuff like that. No one even talks about that. And that's not including, and that shit's in the stock market too. So now you can make 10% on the stock market. You can make 10% on that money on the stock market. Right? So now your $12,000 is going to make $1,200 from compounded interest. So now you up 13.2 in 1 year of a max contribution of a 401k. If you make $100,000 a year and you put 6% in. Thank you. You're welcome. Now you're an investor. And a lot of people say, yo, man, I can't, I'm going to have to wait to take my money out. You worry about the wrong thing, man. Let's say I need that. Let's say you started off with zero. I'm gonna say the average person in this chat, I'll say you're 40 years old, right? Say you're 40. You're gonna contribute in that account until you're 65. 25 years. And let's say they put it into a conservative index fund that pays out the stock market average since the Great Depression, 10.1. You put in 6%, they put in 6%. That's $6,000 if you make $100,000 a year. That's 12 thou wow. So you put in 12 thou wow total every year. You start at 40, you do it to 65, $1.1 million, actually $1.2 million. But the bad part about it, the good part about it is your contributions, your interest that you make on that money is $106,000 a year. So from 65 until you die, you will get a check every year for $106,000 on your $1.2 million that's sitting in the pot. And this is where it gets good. You don't need the money. You don't need the money. You take the $106,000 and you live off of it until you die. Then you take the $1.2 million, you put that shit in the trust. And now your kids will get $106,000 every year for the rest of their lives. And then when they die, their kids will get $106,000 every year until they die. And so forth, and so on, and so forth, and so on. And just by you starting your 401k at 40 years old, maximizing your contributions to get a match, leave it in there till you're 65, get a check for the rest of your life, you will make your kids trust fund babies. That trust fund will pay them every year for the rest of their lives. And if you got one kid, he or she will make $106,000 every year for the rest of their life until they die. And then they're going to give it to their kids. And now they're going to pay them out. And so forth and so on. And what you really should do is put some stipulations behind that money, right? Say stuff like, yeah, you need to have a college degree. You need to have an active job to receive this check. You need a drug test. For your height and weight, you need to be no more than 20% overweight. Because I don't want you sitting around looking all flabby and gluttonous. But it's your trust. You set that shit up however you want. And you have an arbitrary or a lawyer check the people that's in there. Yeah, y'all got y'all drug test? Cool. I need your height and weight. Step on the scale. You overweight, bro. Get out of here. It'll be open for the next month. You got to lose 15 pounds in a month. I don't give a shit. That's what the law states. That's what he wanted. If you don't adhere to it, I don't care. But if that's what you want, that's what you do. That's how you do it. Someone said, is $4 million a good size deal on a 1031 exchange? Is $4 million a good deal? Nah, dog. Because most people make $4 million on anything, right? Which is better, a 401k or a mutual fund? 401k, you could take You can take mutual funds out without any penalties. You got to pay taxes though. A 401k, you can't take it out without penalty. And 401k is designed for employees to incentivize their employees to invest. So the only reason the 401k even exists is because after the Great Depression, people wanted nobody wanted to invest in the stock market again. So the government and businesses stated that, yo, what we're going to do is we're going to start a 401k program to where we're going to incentivize people to get back into the stock market. And what we'll do is we have to, as businesses, we have to contribute a certain amount of money to incentivize people to invest in the stock market. That's where the whole match comes from. Because prior to the Great Depression, they didn't even have a 401k. Like that shit didn't even exist. And they started a 401k program and nobody was investing in it. So the businesses and the banks and the governments had to come up with a reason why they want people to put their money into long-term investments. That's the only reason that shit even exists, because they screwed up everybody's money in the 30s and the 40s, and nobody wanted to invest their money. So the jobs and the government and the bank said, yo, if you put 5% of your income into this pot, we will give you 5% on top of that. And they said, okay, cool. That sounds like a deal to me. That's free money. And the crazy part about it, that program's been around since the 40s. 80 years later, it's still running around thriving, and a lot of people don't even do the shit. It's free fucking money. People don't even do it. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, my peeps. No, I was saying from above. Oh, what's his name? Still talking about $4 million? You've been working on that deal for like 6 months, man. 6 months. I'll be like, yo, man, I'm good. I don't even want it no more. Well, for $4 million, a $1.2 million deal for 2 years, I'm just like, yo, man, like I'm good. I ain't want to be stressing over this. Nothing should take this damn long. My goodness. You probably spend more time on that than if you were just working a regular job. You wouldn't probably make that kind of money, but you've been talking about that for like 5 years. But it is what it is. What's up, Instagram? I see you. And I gotta make it. Don't ask me, $1 million baby. Don't ask. I ain't never represent, baby. I gotta make it. Don't ask me, $1 million baby. A dirty ball. A ton of count. A ton of time. I took a time. Colors. I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking. King of my castle, just a gangster stalking. But my back's hurting. I gotta use the bathroom, and even though it's so vulgar, but I gotta go do some things. But yes, we have a free class coming up. Should be Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. So sign up for the free class, come through the webinar, say hey to your boy. And let's talk about money. Let's talk about finances. Let's talk about credit. Let's talk about business funding. Let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about it all, because you should be you should have a good understanding of all this stuff and how it works. And until you truly do, you won't have a good understanding on how this process works. And I'm not gonna say I'm the know all be all, but a lot of the stuff I talk about and a lot of stuff I teach and a lot of stuff we talk about will help you accomplish a lot of your financial goals. And I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some effort. It's gonna take some energy. It's gonna take some determination. But that's what we do. And I'm gonna hold you accountable, and I'm gonna give you homework. Do your dang homework, and I'm gonna get you done. I'll get you done. All right, one more question, and I gotta go. Um, Social media gets mad at me if I stay on more than 2 hours. So I just gotta do between 90 minutes and 2 hours. That's my sweet spot. So let's talk about mutual funds. All right. What about them? All right. So you have ETFs and you have mutual funds. ETFs is a way you can track generally the S&P 500. That means the top 500 stocks in America. You can track the top 50 companies in America. You can track the top 100 companies in America. You can track the top 250 companies in America. You can track all that type of stuff. But the S&P 500 is typically tracked on ETFs or index funds. Mutual funds are when a stock invests in a mutual type of market. So let's say if I wanted to invest in energy. So there's an energy mutual fund. It's a lot of energy companies. I always use a car company because it's a whole lot easier. Let's say if there was a mutual fund that invests in car companies. So they invest in Tesla, GMC, Volvo, whatever, right? Every Toyota, Honda, Nissan, right? And they have all these car companies in a collective want to invest in a car company, then you invest in a mutual fund car company because you get all the mutual fund, you get all of them in one. Then, if you wanted to invest in an ETF that tracks everything, then you just get a SP 500. It will have a portfolio manager. Yes, ETFs have the portfolio manager, and mutual funds has a portfolio manager, and the portfolio manager takes what's called an expense ratio. And a good expense ratio is anywhere from 0.3% to 0.8. Anything over a 1 point, anything over a percent to manage my money is not worth it. But sometimes the bigger mutual funds that produce the most amount of money is somewhere in the range of like 1.5, 1.25. They charge more money, but you get better results. So you're already negotiating from a what you call it perspective. It's like you already -1%. So if that mutual fund produces 15% and they charge a point and a half, now you make it 13.5, right? Is the 15% worth the point and a half? Sometimes it is, sometimes not. That's what you got to go through and do your research, right? Someone said, I have a 660 credit score and 15 inquiries. How soon can we get those off? I don't like the key words, right? I don't like speed, fast, quick. It's just weird ways to look at things, right? That's like going to a personal trainer and saying, yeah, man, I'm overweight. How fast can I get this weight off? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like a weird question to ask. We don't focus on speed. We focus on having a good credit profile, and we focus on everything that's negative on your credit. If you take care of that stuff, And if you need more lines of credit or you need more stronger credit profile, we work on that type of stuff. And statistically, over time, you will have a good score, right? Don't worry about the weight when you're trying to lose weight. You focus on working out, getting good sleep, drinking more water, eating healthy, and weight will fall off. It's the same thing. But 680 is not even a bad score. The Macquarie, you probably have, I can tell you straight up, you more than likely have high debt to income ratio, not debt to income ratio, credit utilization. You have, I want you to download the Credit Karma app, go in there, click on any of the first numbers, scroll down to where it says debt to income ratio or credit utilization. I promise you, your credit utilization is probably about 70%. You just got to pay off your credit cards because your inquiries really don't factor in that much unless you have, and you more than likely just have high credit utilization. You have high, okay, so 8% credit utilization. So you probably have, you don't have, do you have like a repossession or repossession or bankruptcy on there? Let me guess. Repossession? Nah. You have a repossession? No. You got a repossession? I'm trying to figure it out. Repossession? I'm in debt from college. College debt don't make a difference unless you was missing payments. But I think a lot of times they don't even factor that shit in either. TT, what's happening? No repossessions or anything? You don't have any. What about late payments or charge-offs? You have a late payments or charge-off or anything? Late payments, you probably have some late payments. 8% utilization. There's something else on there. It ain't hard inquiries. 87% payment. There we go. Late payments. I knew it was on there. 87% co-sign for my family. Never do it. But 98% payment history means that you have a lot of late payments. And those late payments are probably on all three bureaus. You miss one payment, it goes to all three. So now you got three. You missed 4 late payments. You have 4 late payments. Now you have 12 because you have 4 on each bureau. So you got to dispute all 12. So now you have 14 hard inquiries, which anything over 5 makes your credit score drop because it shows you desperate for credit. And you got late payments now. So you are a prime candidate for credit repair. Or you can try to get it off yourself, but like I said, why would you want to do it yourself when you just pay somebody to do it? I can make pizza myself. Why the hell would I do that? I'll just pay somebody to do that. When you come around, you'll bring brighter days. You're the perfect one for me, and it will forever will be, and I will love you so for always. Anyways, what main social media? It's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. I got to get off every 2 hours. I might get back on later on tonight. Probably not. Click the link in the bio. Join the free class if you want to learn more. We go from there. Get this money.